Hello, welcome to Smileys. So,
God.
this is like part 2, the discussion of chapters 11 and 12 for Draconus Arathan Erikson. We had
spoilers all. We're going to spoil
spoilers all.
everything.
What more I said?
have to
Everything.
play.
We do mean everything. So, that includes the last chapter of Fall of Light, which I'm going to bring up extensively. Everything. Okay, so we're good.
Not
We're good.
spoilers, so please.
So, yeah.
Thank you for listening. That's it.
Goodbye. So, hi, Maura.
Hi, Lee.
So, yeah, we'll get that out of the way quickly. So,
Can you just tell me what do you think about Osirk
okay.
Unfiltered?
Look, so as far as the Book of the Fallen, like especially the novels are concerned, I think it's very clearly Cam's character. Like Cam paints him in a much more favorable way, in the way like Steve paints Rake. Like but also he, especially here, he's a bit snotty. He's a bit of a prick. He's riding a bit too high in his high horse. It's not unlike someone like Renarr, right? I can't not like him because he is a kid. He's a bit of a child. He's young, naive, a bit stupid, whatever. Like, Renarr knows what he's doing. He's just a dipshit. Osirk is just like, he hasn't found himself yet. And yeah, he gets strung along by Renarr, and it's glorious. But he doesn't know better because of his age. If he were older, no, none of this applies. But at least as far as Draconus is concerned, he gets a bit of a pass. In the Book of the Fallen, we don't really see him, other than him being a bit of a marginally bit better dad than Amanda was.
Dan Urisander, yeah.
Which actually, and Urisander,
yeah.
He actually goes back for his son for once, which says quite a bit. In the novels, obviously, if you've not read Blood and Bone, you probably shouldn't be here. But Blood and Bone paints him in a very nice picture, like he actually has to come to terms with his faults in the most horrifying way possible, which is a face-to-face with Gothos, which I would not wish on anyone. But at the very least, he does come into terms with like, oh yeah, I fucked up and I was a bad dad, and I don't want to be like my dad, so I'm going to be better. So yeah,
So we have seen
okay.
Osirk's redemption. What we are seeing now is his.
Just like everyone, right? Like Anomander's the same, Silkast's the same. Even I guess Urisander to an extent. Everyone is still being crafted and made into who they will be later. That's the point of the Draconus, right? So
is that the point? I thought the point is like to just confuse us. I think the whole point of these books is to just make sure that whatever things you thought you knew, these books are just there to show you that you're wrong. You're just wrong.
To that end, let's make a list of all the things that this chapter told us that we didn't know before. So, Olar is apparently the mother of these 3 shits. There's 3 shits, not 2, but we didn't know that before. Olar is her mother.
According to Book of the Fallen, who is their mother?
Shaltatha, who hasn't come up yet. And she does come up, and she's like the same age as Renarr, which is incredibly weird.
Yeah. Okay.
But anyway,
so Olar
Trace apparently isn't her actual name. Yeah. Who?
Whose actual name? Sorry.
Well, Triss. It was a given name, but then she takes it on for herself, and then like Lorg's like, "I call you by your true name," like bullshit.
Oh, I don't know that.
So Ardata and the Sister of Dreams are, sisters-ish. Old Man Moon's a thing.
Thought. Yeah, but it doesn't mention specifically that they're sisters.
They're sisters in the Azathanai sense, in the same sense that like Cruel, Draconus, and Nigel are brothers and sisters.
And their cousins are like.
Yeah.
And what about
that? We're not getting into that discussion. I'm sorry.
No,
because, isn't it Draconus that says in this chapter that says like the name is misleading? The name of Azathanai is misleading, or is it later?
Misleading, yeah. Drax says that.
So
no, there is one
who the
part
fuck knows?
I think it is in PTA where they're talking about cousins, and we find out that it is about the Jagged. Like the Azathanai think the Jagged are cousins or something like that. No.
I remember the Asath are their cousins.
Yeah, the Azat are the cousins. Yeah.
But like
Sorry.
Draconus then comes along and says, "Yo, that's good. That's not true because it's like it's a confusing name and they don't actually." What the fuck gives? Nobody knows. Doesn't matter.
That's why we're reading this to get confused too.
Yeah. See.
The water is too clear
works.
after Book of the Fallen.
Yeah. They have come to stir the waters. Yeah. He beckons us with answers and says, "No, actually, here's more questions." Classic Steve.
I know. It's like I know lesser now. How is it possible? Like
you thought you knew a few things, and like Steve was like, "No, none of that's true." No.
And also, can I just mention that we had like 10 chapters of good times,
fluff,
not bad times, sort of fluff. I mean, we had like one amputation. Was it a battle? There was no battle, and we had like some
battle.
Creepy Ferren being creep. Just that, right? There was nothing major.
Just fluff, and then you're like,
and 11 onwards, everything is good. I started 13, and that made me cry. It was not Gurren and thinking about his wife and feeling sad that I will join my wife. No.
He's not. That's 13. The point. He's not sad. He's super happy about it, and that's like what makes me so sad.
Do you really think he's happy about it? That's his depression speaking.
Of course it is, but like that's the point.
He's not happy about it.
What makes it sad?
He's processing it. Fine. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. He's very sad. Let us all be sad. But 13 made me cry. That's all I'm going to say. And 14 and 15, they're going to make me cry. And I don't know what else is there after that. So it's like 10 chapters of just smooth sailing, and then it starts, right? That's what's happening.
It eases you in, it like lures you in, like, oh yeah, it's fine. We're just like with this boy who's like the bastard son of Draconus, and it's like it's gonna be fine. And then you have like this story. I know, by the way, Kairos is dead, but that doesn't matter. It's fine. It's all symbolic anyway. It doesn't matter. And then, Raskin's dead, and then like Renarr is introduced to the story, and then like Spala comes up upon like a whole bunch of shit, and like Orphantel gets jumped, and like, oh my god, like can we wait, please? And so from here until the end of Forge of Darkness, it's basically not, and about like 3 chapters, the Fall of Light, it's non-stop because Fall of Light perhaps appropriately starts the battle, but doesn't end with the battle.
I don't remember enough about Fall of Light yet.
No, it's just like we'll get to it eventually. It's fine, but yeah, this is where if you haven't. Like chapter 5 is when it starts gearing up, like, okay, this is gonna get serious. Then chapter 9 and like 10 are like, okay, this is really getting serious. And now it's like, strap on in, you're not gonna let it go for the next 10 chapters.
Like this is all like Malassian brutality, what we saw till now. But from here on,
Draconus is a lot more vulgar. I don't know if you noticed.
Vulgar and violent
it's more vulgar. Yeah, it's like it's very on the nose. And there's
No, I just wanted to ask about what do you think of Raskan? True, I agree, 100%.
I mean, he didn't do anything bad in the story yet. He's like he might have done something bad, and like Olar said he would do something bad, and just fucking killed him.
Bad things he's done. Nobody deserves their head pushed inside somebody's wound, and that whole thing. Nobody deserves that for anything they've done.
I agree.
Yeah. It doesn't matter what bad thing he's done or whatever it is. And Olar, the audacity of Draconus to say that she thinks it's a mercy is like, what does it say about him?
That he's not human?
Thanks. Yeah.
No, I'm serious. Like, to him, to the Azathanai, it would be a mercy, right?
Would it really? Was Raskan unhappy? He was fine. It's like Hunral saying, let us prevent civil war by first instigating it. Like,
Hunral is a
mercy after destroying him.
Yeah, Hunral is an ambitious, nice idiot. Olar is an Azathanai. The difference is one can like think for himself, and you're like, Yeah, well, you might do some sordid stuff in the future, so I'm just gonna stop it right here and like grant you this mercy or like satiation and worship and shit. It is weird,
Mm.
but she doesn't think
Mm.
of it like as a bad thing. Gonral knows what he's doing is bad.
It doesn't matter whether he knows it or whether Olar doesn't know it and all that. The fact is, they cause the harm, and then they think it is a
As
mercy
Nif
to
would say,
close the
you
harm.
deontologists, it's all about the intent. But no, yeah, I mean, I agree. I'm not saying I disagree. I'm just saying like the perspective is different because to Draconus and to Olar, it's like, oh yeah, well, maybe it's a mercy because now he can't do sordid shit to children. If that's what he would do, I don't know.
I mean, do you think Olar cares that he is like
Of course
abusing
not.
children?
No.
Yeah. I thought the mercy what she was giving him was that because she was being cruel to him the night before, and even after drinking, he's not recovered yet. So she thinks better than him suffering like this. I will show him pleasure, like that satiety pleasure or whatever, that 100% pleasure, and kill him. That's what her plan was. That is her mercy. That's what I thought.
Maybe.
Mercy to
Sure.
him. It's not mercy to the potential victims or something.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
She's not like she's very alien to us. And I think that's the point. I think that's like why she's so written.
I would like to see Cam writing Olarithl because Ardata was amazing, right?
Mhm.
It was excellently done. The alienness of Ardata was perfect. I want to
Mhm.
see Olarithl being done like that, but she's too close for us to like think of her in these terms. She's not alien enough, I feel.
She's
No?
curious. There was like one guy. I know one guy who actually liked Olarethel, or like not like her, but like was interested. I just don't fucking care. I think like when Torrent shot her, I was like overjoyed.
Mhm.
Right.
I don't remember. So, so she's Azathanai or not? Do we have an answer?
Olar, yeah,
She
for sure,
is 100%.
for sure.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
No, I'm convinced. More as close to be convinced as I can be in such terms.
So, who are the Azathanai dragons? Is Drac a dragon? Does he ever?
Yes, maybe.
I feel like he is, but I'm not very sure. I don't
I
remember.
think so.
Does he ever turn into a dragon form?
I think when he kills like Ilmandaros and Setchel, I think he does. I think he appears. I think, but I don't remember. Maybe he just actually just like picks her up as a guy, as a dice form, and just like slam dunks her. Maybe he does that. I don't remember.
But Olar specifically turns into a dragon.
Yes. Yeah.
She's the bone caster. So that's why I think that she's not a Zathanai. She's just a hyped up dog runner. I don't know.
Maybe.
She's just a dog runner goddess who was, sort of sitting with the Zathanai kids. And nobody's telling her to get lost.
So our verdict
Plus,
is
she's
we
had
don't
like
know.
3 children with Drac, so they have to accept her.
So our verdict
As you said,
on oral ethics is like we don't know. And Drac did something that he probably shouldn't have. But so Draconus is curious because Zil pointed out something today that I had kind of forgotten about. Like the Indigo Fall of Light basically shows that Draconus has done this a lot of times in the past. That's basically the same thing.
Does it
bring
what
darkness
is
to
the
the dice?
exact quote? Is there a quote like that?
There's not a quote. It's like the
really-
entire chapter because like Rise Harat comes upon a bunch of murals that show like the first days of the dice, and someone that looks suspiciously like Draconus has come.
Was this
And
like
also-
that errant tapestry we see in Midnight Tides?
Sort of, kinda.
Tururel,
And-
whatever that guy's name, yeah.
And like cruel that insinuates that like the dice have had a lane to blood since like the first dice.
Forever, yeah.
And like light and dark and shadow have been born countless times, and like all of 1,000 times, like Draconus has been in the middle of that, and he's seeking a way out. If he is, then his actions here make a bit more sense. Of yeah, sure, she showed as a mercy. I'm taking my son to the Lord of Hate because he's the only person who can help me. if it's not, then he's just a dumbass. Okay, like he's just being unnecessarily cruel. And his carelessness, in not only like I'm looking for a gift, I want to give this like gift to my, my lover.
Yeah.
And then Olar comes along and tells him, okay, some Vatha and I killed some dude. And not just some dude, a dragon, Karish, made the hood. I'm like, okay, I see nothing untoward about this. And an old man tells him, like, oh, you shouldn't go any further because, like the Vatha and I are weeping and seeking a redress. Like, no, I'm gonna have this. Like, dude, do you need more clues to point out like something has happened with your gift and you shouldn't do it? Stop. Stop. But he doesn't stop. And yeah.
But in his defense, he does say that he's careless. Like now and then he keeps saying,
Which,
I'm
again,
careless.
his carelessness like is justified if he actually has done this before and he's looking for a way out, which would be really interesting. But if this was like the first time or the first few times and he's just looking for different ways to achieve power, like he's just a dumbass. He's just a cruel dumbass. Like when we discussed with Nif about like what makes a good motivation, like who cares about the greater good, like this would actually make sense in that context. But if he's not, there's nothing justifying our boy Draconus. He's just dumb.
We are concluding almost all of these guys are dumb in this episode.
So
do you have any non-dumb people?
I think that means something because of the narrator that we're given. Like Galan is trying to tell you, like, look at these idiots. Like this guy's dumb. He neglects his son. He then deconstructs everyone in his legion in front of his son, and he doesn't do anything about it. Like, what do you call him? Genius? Then you have his son who bangs a 13-year-old, 12, whatever, how old she is. I'm like, yeah, well, actually, never mind. No, like, I didn't know you were this young. Like, yeah, just. And then who else? Well, like the only people who are not indicted by the diegesis as like stupid are the children. You have. Okay, I shouldn't say children. The young guys, the younger guys, like Orphantal or Renarr or Arathan. They're not as on the nose, like these. Look, just point at these people and laugh. Even Olar gets pity, right? Yeah. If Olar was older, he would be getting like shit on. Like, oh, look at he's weeping and he's thinking about like, oh my god, like trains are coming to us all. And no, it's just like, look at this fucking idiot, like crying in his room. But
how sad.
Yeah, that's the point. That's what I'm getting at. Like Galan is painting a sad picture for you rather than just like laugh at him. This is his comeuppance. Yeah. It's not a comeuppance. He doesn't deserve this. So, yeah, everyone is stupid in this chapter, except for the ones that Galan wants to paint as not stupid, which, whatever that says about him or us.
No, when I was reading the first time, like, I didn't know how intentional Erikson wrote, so I thought it's like, just a coincidence that there is this powerful guy and his powerless son, and they're both going through the same things, and they both have a girlfriend at the same time, and I thought it was just just a big coincidence, and it's I mean obviously, but now I'm seeing that how intentional and how perfectly they're both marching hand in hand, right? Like both the stories all together at the same time. And I think the bigger contrast is between these guys acting as fathers, how exactly they're approaching it, than anything else. Because
there will be no scene where Vatha or Sanders goes to Olar and says, you are Vatha or Sanders' son. I meet your eyes. No, none of that shit. He's legitimate.
No, but there's no need because he's not a bastard son. But
yeah, he's legitimate. But he's never recognized as his successor. He's never recognized as like he's he's next, except for when Renarr tells him to, because it's politically expedient. But whatever. But by then, like Olar is having his own thing going on. But yeah, I don't remember details. But the point is, for however careless or stupid or like ignorant or alien or cruel or however Draconus is, he does do the right thing sometimes, which is
Sometimes.
more than can be said about Vatha or Sander sometimes. Which, okay. The difference is, one is trying to do the right thing and succeeding,
Yeah.
and the other is just doing the right thing on occasion. Like, Vatha is like trying, like, okay, I'm gonna adopt this girl because, her father's dying and, like, I owe her mother and stuff, and, like, okay. And then Draconus is like, oh yeah, by the way, I probably shouldn't be a cunt sometimes. Yeah, Arathan, yeah, I'm your dad now. We're on talking terms again.
But yeah, it's very sad though.
It is. I mean, do I need to point out again that Draconus is a tragedy? But okay, yeah, I'm sounding a bit of a broken record.
Funny.
But what I wanted to say is, we've both been pointing out from like chapter 1. Draconus does love Arathan. Whatever, certainly more than the names shouldn't be curses.
Yeah.
Daughters aside, but especially in his conversation with Olar, he's like, he shows it emotion for once.
No, in the sense, he is like that, right? Because we think that he completely disapproves their love and all that. That Arathan
Don't be
being
foolish.
so smitten with. No, but then he says you were right to love her, right? Because she's a remarkable woman and all that.
He's saying, like, don't be foolish. I wouldn't hurt her because I have a reason to, right? I mean, more than I already hurt her, but from here on, it's not like I'm gonna be extra cruel just to spite you or because I'm gonna use her more. And like when he talks with Olar, it's like you must see his mother on him, and like I must hurt you, and like yes. And I highlighted this way back when. Yeah.
Drac is like an extremely romantic guy because he loves Arathan because he loved his mother, and he loves Mother Dark so much. He just
because
gave away
she's
darkness.
Romantic. Yeah.
It doesn't matter doesn't matter the reason, but he's romantic enough to do stuff like this, which also makes him an idiot. Yeah, I interrupted you.
Thank you for saying that. I wasn't gonna go there.
No, I'm not praising him. He had no call doing stuff like giving away darkness. Like,
oh God,
who asked him to do that? Did she ask him? Did she say, "Oh, maybe I would love that. Maybe I can, let me have it for some time or something." He just
the greater good.
No greater.
More is in support of the greater good, and the Giga Chud drag disapproves. Like, no, fuck the greater good. I'm gonna give this gift to my wife, not even wife, to my lover.
Exactly. Yeah. If they were married, all this, it wouldn't have made a big difference. It's just the way everyone talks about it, but it wouldn't have made a difference. Maybe Mother Dark was the first one who wanted like a live-in relationship in Teist, and that's why everyone disapproves.
One sec.
Yeah.
Sorry. Can you pause here? Thank you. Do go on.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was just going to say that Mother Dark must have been like the first. She wanted to try out live-in relationships with Draconus, but obviously Teist disapproves, and that's why there is so much contention in the realm. Like, it's dishonorable to unmarried people to live together and all that.
Which would totally be a thing in Colonel Galen.
It would be, yeah, I'm sure.
God damn. The more I think about this realm, the more fucked it is. Like, it's doomed. It's completely doomed.
It is close to us. And that's what I hate so much about it. When was this written? 10 years back?
2013, yes.
Oh.
FOD is 2013, FOL is 2016.
Good. So were you born that day?
Hilarious.
Yeah, I know. I'm laughing. Okay, so any more thoughts? Rint became my favorite today.
Rint, like...
I like stuff like that. Like, I make a grand, meaningless gesture and all that. Yeah.
It does introduce, like, beyond the obvious badassery of the character work, from a more mechanical perspective, it does introduce a very interesting way to view, like, these gestures. It's the intent behind the worship that matters, right? It's not just, oh, I'm making this offering, or I'm doing this, or I'm doing that.
It's symbol versus meaning, right? It's not just a symbol of lighting the fire. It's a meaning behind it.
Yeah. See? It's very literal. It's like, well, we've seen Steve do this, right? Like, he takes a metaphor and then he makes it real, either in a character or something of the sort.
Repeatedly. Yeah.
I think I've made enough of a mention of how ironic it is that like Urasander is Father Light, the guy who's obsessed with with a moral stance and justice, being like his son escapes justice due to nepotism. And what I didn't point out is the Father Hand quote from earlier, from chapter 7.
What was it?
Where they're talking about civilization, and Farrer says that civilization is crowd control.
No.
And a civilization is in decline when members of that civilization escape justice with impunity. And guess what the Cirque does in this chapter? So, it's just, I brought it up as a joke, but it's not a joke. It's like a real concern, and definitely something that like Galan and Steve would put forth. Like, look at this guy. He's obsessed with justice so much, like he doesn't even notice unjust things going under his nose. And okay, I think that's being slightly unfair, but it's also not wrong. So
it's like we're seeing both all these fathers being careless, right? Is it all about daddy issues? Is it what the whole?
1 sec. And
we're back again.
It is all about daddy issues. Absolutely.
Yeah.
The entire way down the Vatha bloodline, like from Berserk to Lorik and Jagashrul, even like Kalagar Fant.
When we discussed,
everyone, yeah. Sorry.
So I was just going to say that when we discussed House of Chains, we came to the conclusion that it's all about daddy issues with Karsa and
even Karsa. Yeah,
and all that.
The entire goddamn series is just daddy issues. If people were better fathers in this series, there wouldn't be a Book of the Fallen.
Starting with Ganos's father. Why did he let him stand at the rampart and look at burning mouse quarters and decide
we don't need another wine merchant? No, fuck yes you do. Don't put your life in danger, you dumbass. But yeah.
This is our conclusion. Everyone should be better fathers. Maybe we should try to release this during Father's Day or something.
That'll just be topical. Yeah, that'll definitely be topical.
Yeah. Okay. Let's stop. Yeah. Do you have anything more, or shall we start winding up? Did I miss something?
I don't think so. No, I mean, we already said that we're not going to try to decode the symbolism of what it all means. We're just going to assume that like Arathan's mother is Triss because of it, and that's it. We're leaving it at that. We're not talking about it again.
And do you know what happens to this clay doll that Arathan is now carrying? The one Olar gave him. Does it ever come back? It's an unfired Chekhov's gun.
I don't know.
Okay. You don't remember. I don't remember.
I don't remember, no.
Okay. We'll keep an eye out for that. Maybe we should remind Steve in case he's forgotten.
I don't think he's forgotten. Like, in these things, I don't think he forgot.
I'm sure he's not forgotten. Yeah, sorry?
I don't think, like, in these things, in these, like, small details that he sets up, like, a few books prior, he forgets, because he's...
Yeah.
Unless he doesn't hint it at all. Like, if he's just like, oh, yeah, he has, like, a clay doll, by the way. No, I don't think so. I think maybe...
No, but because she says specifically that to throw it in the fire.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I assume it has to be thrown.
We'll see.
But then it's Arathan. And Book of the Fallen Arathan does not have a clay doll with him.
That he does not, no.
Oh, you're just going to accept that guy is Book of the Fallen Arathan?
Yeah.
Oh, no doubt about that? Okay.
It's been my theory since I read it, so yeah. No, I like... Pretty much everything tracks. Especially in Full of Light. He walks on water.
Yeah.
He gets trapped. Well, he doesn't get trapped, but they visit Nazath's house with Coria in the next book. He calls Draconus. Well, he says he'll call Draconus friend or some such. It
And there was
tracks.
something to do with a dog. I don't know. There was something about a dog.
Yeah, there was something like he fears dogs or something.
Because these girls used to.
And then he starts laughing when like Ben Delat gets mentioned. So
Oh yeah. Oh, he doesn't laugh. Does he laugh? I thought he went pale
he
or something.
he starts staring disbelief like, oh, like how would I miss that name and stuff like that, But yeah, I
No,
think
but
I think it's
if
Arathan.
he is like a 100% Azathanai, can he like mingle with people like this in Book of the
He
Fallen?
does.
Just to be clear, we're talking about Ruthan. Yeah, just to
Yeah.
be clear, in case
So
someone
a
didn't.
few things. One, he doesn't seem comfortable with his body. Like he scratches his beard a lot, which is like the substitute for like biting your nails.
No.
And he
Everybody
does.
scratches their beard in
No.
Marathi.
You misunderstand me. He does say that he has a new body. Like, this is not his original body, and I think something like that. And then the Tlanima, the Unbound, bow to him and call him Elder, but like not what you think. That's what he says. Because Bottle gets super pissed at him, like, what the fuck do you mean? What do you mean, Elder? It's a fucking Elder gun. Like, no, it's not what you think. And that's as far as it goes. Like, just Elder, but not what you think. So he's probably a Sathanai. It's probably Arathan. Probably. But you're not convinced, because of course you're not convinced.
No, I don't know. Maybe, but I thought you would have a different opinion because this is what I was assuming because this is what everyone on the sub says that Ruthan is Arathan.
So of course
I
I
thought you
must
would have a
disagree.
different
Everyone on the sub, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, why are you even laughing?
And now Orange.
I was
And on
so
that
sure you
note,
would have.
on that
Yeah.
note, we'll probably close the episode because
Shall we? Yeah.
So we'll call it like Lee disagrees with either sub.
No, not this time though. Maybe
Not
next
this time.
Hopefully next
Maybe
time.
next time, ideally, yeah. So thank you very much for watching or listening. This has been Smileys. I have been Lee.
I'm Mora and
Good night.
we're signing off. Good night.